lights, you're on your phone. I should have known. Saw you cold. Wonder why you try. I'm still alone. You're on your own. Disconnected. Don't know why we fell apart. The feeling sets in, but only after dark. Only after dark. Only after dark. Only after dark. Hollow shell. Look me in the eyes. See I'm numb. I've come undone. Let me go. I'm sorry that I can't be what you want. My heart is gone. Disconnected. Don't know why we fell apart. The feeling sets in. Only after dark. Only after dark. Only after dark. City fall. Somewhere in those lights.
Ayo, friendos. I'm your host, your boy Beige, here with Nights Live. And if you're wondering, what's Nights Live? It's a revamped version of Friday Nights Live. We changed the date, the time, and even the name of the show. But just so you know, it's still going to be the amazing show you all grew to love. And we got a lot of fun things in store for all of you today. We're gonna have bracket right over to my left. All right, one of the two, you know. But today we'll be discussing esports news with my main man, Keith LaFortune. We'll be discussing the VCT drama going on. And then after that, after a few minutes, I will have a one-on-one interview with our pro Madden player, that guy DJ. And then after that's all said and done, we have a special announcement that I think all of you will be extremely excited for. And then once we wrap that up, we can all go to bed. But before all this goes on and we have a spectacular show for you, we're going to take a quick 1 to 2 minute commercial break. And then when we're back, I'll be talking with Keith LaFortune.
His position into archives. The swing from OJ successful. Got to get the plant down and does so with very little time. Mincy has to watch and hit the shot and he can't. Juicy, can he deny it? Yes, he will. The Don is good. Jackie Wu goes for the revive. There's information for Direwolves. They know his position. Sage goes deep, finds one, and the second for Stigs.
Rotate behind the shield. Don't give him anything. You hit him, he's weak.
I got a few moves through. Nice.
Let's go!
Let's go, boys.
What's left? What's left?
Close
Nice.
third.
Last one was below. Was red before.
Astra.
Asher. Side left. Let's go! Let's go, boys.
Yo, those plays from our R6 team were so cold that I needed my Zippo hand warmer. And if you want to see some more badassery from those guys as the new season starts, as we have a new player as well, tune in tonight. I believe at 6 a.m. our team will be going against Elevate, where we will most likely dominate them. But let's go to our next segment where I'll be talking with my main man, Keith.
Hey.
How's it going, man?
It's going good. How you been?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, the Knights esports life. How about yourself?
It's the same. It's the same. And while following all this VCT stuff, it feels like it's been a full-time job. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, and that's why we have you here, man. You're our analyst for the show to give us the lowdown and your thoughts on all of this.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much we could talk about. I don't even think we have enough time, but thankfully, you've sectioned out enough so we could go over some of the main points. I'm excited to jump into those.
Of course. Anything for you, my friend.
So I guess let me just quickly run through the bracket,
Mhm.
right? So it's been an interesting one. I think there's been some upsets, specifically Fun Plus Phoenix losing to DRX.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of DRX. It's the only Japanese team that's playing in this event, and they're really fun to watch. So they're making a pretty good run. Unfortunately, we've lost one NA team out of 2. Maybe we'll get 3 there next year.
Mhm.
Who knows? And it's been spicy. There's been its fair share of drama, fair share of clutches, and there's only 4 teams remaining. It's Loud, Optic, Fun Plus Phoenix, and DRX. So NA still has a chance. They're in the winner's side, so even if they lose, they have a guaranteed BO5 to make it back. So it's spicy. It's definitely spicy.
All right, who's your pick?
My pick'ems when I did them weren't great. And since I picked Fun Plus Phoenix, but like as I've watched them progress, they've had some really high highs but some really low lows.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go full on the copium train here and say DRX is gonna run it all the way back and win the whole thing.
You think they're going to beat Optic too? That's who I personally think is going to. Of course NA. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
got to be that way.
Yeah, I think Optic are probably gonna have a really close match against Loud. Like historically, they always go 3 maps normally.
Mhm.
And I think Loud's finally gonna best that giant. And then I think Optic are going to struggle against DRX because they're very explosive and they play like the teams in NA that Optic lose to.
Mhm.
The super loose, super hard to read, don't play standard. And if a couple of their guys aren't having that hot hand, like Marved, Crashies, if these guys aren't up to what they normally are, they can lose to that team. And that's, I want NA to win. So I'm going to go DRX.
Mhm.
And then my second pick's Optic because I'm biased.
Okay. All right. I respect that. So since we're talking VCT, man, let's hit into the juicy bits. You know what I mean? What were your thoughts on the turret bug and like the Optic exit drama?
Yeah, so when I first heard the drama, I thought, wow, this is a really weird round to replay. I think it's odd to punish a team for a glitch in a game that's been around forever, but at the same time, it's also a glitch that's been around for so long that if you're a KJ player, you should kind of know the glitch and it like when it happens because it's very obvious when it happens. It shoots one way and then flicks back the other. It's the only time the turret ever does that
Mhm.
is when it has that mess up, that little mistake. And I think apparently the XF players didn't ask for a replay. And then they ended up waiting like 40 minutes just replay one round to go to OT and lose anyway. My hot take probably shouldn't have been replayed. I think you need to be aware enough that, it is a possibility and, it's unfortunate, I think, on both sides. Neither one of them meant to do it, so I think that makes it a bit better.
That's wild because like you said the bug's been around for such a long time. You feel like people would, like you said, people will be used to it. And I guess the main thing, why hasn't it been fixed yet?
There's a lot of little things like that just, I think, go under the radar, and they don't happen enough to the point where the general public kind of complains about it enough. But if you play KJ, it happens, I feel like, at least once a match where your turret will just start shooting at a wall for just no reason, and you go and peek it, nobody's there, and then you get shot from behind. It's weird. It's very specific. I don't even know what triggers it. It's definitely annoying, don't get me wrong. But it's a weird slippery slope to set a precedent at of, a glitch happened, got to replay. It's like punishing the players for it raining outside. It's like, it's not their fault.
What were your thoughts on everyone like dragging Exit on like Twitter?
Oh man, I hate that bird app. I love the people on it, but I just try not to get dove into the nest pool of it all. Because people just say the craziest things, and I think they don't deserve any of the hate. They had a pretty good run, all things considered. I mean, they had a close series against Optic. They beat Fnatic, and then they go out in that faction against the previous champions. I mean, nothing for them to be ashamed about. But when people start tweeting things at you, you can't really avoid it. There's a lot of muting and blocking that you have to do. But Yeah, if you're tweeting anything malicious, you just shouldn't do that. That's just not cool, and we all want to be cool. So,
So how do you think we resolve this problem so this doesn't happen again?
I think you have to have a interesting,
Oh, we have
an
the video.
interesting little line.
Let's show the video.
Oh, we got a live video. Okay. Yeah, so you see how it's flicking left and right? So if you watch the Jenny player, the KO, he instantly turns around because he sees the turret. And I'm assuming somebody calmed it that it was shooting towards heaven. So he instantly thinks, okay, there's one heaven. Then the door player peeks and breaks the turret. So in his mind, he goes, okay, there's one heaven, there's one door. And he's kind of stuck between two really awkward spots where the player coming out the door could scale up on his left side, and the heaven player could peek him. So he had to commit to one of them. I think... as far as it comes with the setting the precedent for glitches, is if it's a glitch that they've used intentionally, I think that's an instant replay. In fact, that should just be a round loss, and the other team should just win it. But if it's a glitch that's just random and just happens for unknown reasons, I think we just go on as normal. But there's probably so many glitches we don't even know about that are gonna just start happening, and then we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there, I guess. And well, not me, the admins.
Yeah,
I don't have to cross that bridge. Thank you.
That's a lot of work.
That is a thankless job. Yeah, no thank you to that. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to some more VCT moments. What were your thoughts on Artist 1v3?
I mean, this has to be one of the best clutches in Valorant history at big tournaments. I know it hasn't been around that long. You're looking at 2.5 years. But this 1v3 specifically was kind of absurd. The way he dodges the utility here, isolates fights. By the way, all while on 46 HP is insane. He even gets tagged, so they know where he is. He isolates that fight somehow. The second is absurd, and the third is just icing on the cake. It was one of the best clutches I think we'll see this entire VCT. But that being said, DRX, they might have lost that. They won that series too, by the way. Although Artist clutched that, DRX still clutched the series. I think...
I mean, they had to redeem themselves
they
for
did.
that moment.
They did. Yeah, I really think if Artist can continue this level, he's almost like the EMEA in like a weird way. He's scary consistent, and if he can produce more moments like that, I would be mind blown.
I was gonna say it's surprising that the other team they didn't let that break their spirits, because like you said, that was just an insane moment. His health was down. How did you give that up? And it's like I would like to. I wish I could have heard their comms on like, yo, what the hell did we do? But then they properly fixed it and was able to realign stuff, because like they got the dub.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that clutch happened at like super like early. It was probably like, I think it was 13-13 or something like that. Like it was very early on in OT. 12-12. Like, so that was one of the first round of OTs. It ended up going until 1917. So another, fast forward a bunch more rounds. So they kept their composure. I think DRX's attack side on Ascent specifically is really bad. So they really needed to win that defense round. And the fashion that they didn't, and then still came back to win that attack round, was really impressive.
Hey, congrats to them. So let's move on to the other craziness that was going on. What were your thoughts on the Mako 2v1?
Yeah, so this was a really, really big clutch for DRX. If they didn't win this, it would have been really, really bad. It would have probably lost them this match, and probably sent them home. I think the Ascent, well, keep in mind, on Ascent, Fnatic were already up 1-0. It was a must-win map for DRX, and he comes in and pulls this clutch out. The clutch, A, was impressive, but B, the importance of it. To get that 11-11, to then go into OT and just clean sweep OT, it was really impressive. And I'm a big fan of Smokes players, so seeing Smokes players clutch and do what they do, it's cool to me. And they ended up winning this Ascent 14-12. Then they moved on to Fracture on 113-9 and eliminated Fnatic, who, by the way, had Alfir, who was the only Turkish player in the event. So the crowd wasn't happy. But you know what? I was happy because, as I told you, I'm on the DRX copium.
Okay, I get that. And I was like, so what are your thoughts on, like, so after VCT, do you think there's going to be some more major shakeups? I mean, we've already been seeing a lot of shakeups going on. As of right now, what do you think it's going to be? Like, if you had to predict, like you're putting your psychic cap on, what is the biggest thing that's going to happen to you after VCT, after the championship, after we get a winner? What do you think is going to happen?
I think we're going to see the biggest roster mania in probably any esports history.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be, I was going to use the word violent, but it's not going to be violent. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be high packed. I think you're going to see at least every team, maybe the exception of like DRX, Loud, FunPlus, Phoenix. I would say those three should be locked. Every other team will make changes. I think, even Optic, I think they're going to lose at least 2 to 3 players. Most teams are going to be rebuilding going into the new season and the new start. There's no reason not to. You've had your team for 6 to 8 months, and if you're not making top 4 at champs, then what are you waiting for?
True.
I think it only makes sense. And what I find really interesting about Valorant esports is I think there's way more mixed teams. Like there's some, players from here, from there, from here, and they all kind of come together, especially out in Europe. In comparison to North American teams, the most mixing we get is Canadian and American players. But it's really cool to see how I think the future of Valorant esports is going to be mixed teams, primary English speaking, because I feel like most pros do speak English to a decent degree. And I think we're going to get some cool shakeups and some cool mix-ups. I think we're going to see some North American players go over to Europe. I think we're going to see some European players come over to North America. And I think we're going to see some of our favorite teams break up and restart because, again, no reason not to. You haven't won yet. It's time to start.
Hey, true. Well, thank you, Keith. You are amazing. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. Of course, everyone applaud. Send some emojis to our homie Keith for joining us today for Nights Live. So we're going to take another quick commercial break. And when we're back, I'll be talking to the man, the myth, the legend, that guy, DJ.
My name is Eric Miner, aka That Guy DJ, and I'm a professional Madden player for the Knights. Favorite thing about being a Knight has got to be like the culture and within the Knights organization. When they first signed me and they welcomed me in over that first Juneteenth event and the events up until now, everybody they're all nice, welcome. It just feels like a family in the organization. Being at Lancaster Stadium, it's a blessing. It's probably maybe the third football stadium I've been in my life. For the Knights to be able to get me out here and give me the opportunities feels good. I would say Madden. So when I was younger, my dad and my uncle they always played Madden when I was younger, but I want to play, but I was too young in their eyes, so they pushed me to Nintendo and the Wii and all that. So when I got older, I wanted to learn the games so I can kick their butts. And then that's how like my first love for Madden came. And then competitively, back in 2019, I made a tournament for Madden 20. So yeah. But yeah, I say like originally my dad and my uncle were my first love for Madden. If we're going off bias, probably Madden 22, but I think the most consistent Madden now I would say is 21. I like Madden 21 most consistently. This year I like the freeform mechanic. It actually so in Madden there's an ability called Gunslinger and Seth Elite, but this year they added the freeform feature, and without freeform, the game would have been painful to play, but with that new feature, it actually makes passing a little bit, actually a lot easier. See, I'd have to say freeform this year in Madden. When I started beating my friends, and it got to the point where they're we can't play no more because it's not fun anymore. And then on top of that, I got on Twitch, YouTube, I found some stuff like that. And then, like I said, in 2019, I qualified for that tournament. Should have won, but that's a story for another time. My playstyle, I kind of I won't say copycat, but it's I kind of take a lot of people I do, but I kind of take what the top players do and try to add it to my own game. So I can play John one day, I can play Henry one day, I can play Skimbo one day. I like, what I'm saying, if they do it successfully, why should I not try to incorporate it to my game kind of thing. So yeah, I would say probably copycat and try to add it to my game. I just want to say, look, if y'all continue to work hard, chase your dreams, don't let anybody tell you different, tell you whatever you're doing is not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know what you're doing. You just got to work hard, put the work in, the time, put the work, effort, and time, and the results will come as long as you stay true to your passion. So that's all I gotta say.
Hey, what's up? We're back, and I'm about to be joined by my friend, that guy, DJ. What's up?
Yo, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, thank you for joining me tonight, man. How are you feeling?
I feel good, and thank you for having me on the show on the first. Yeah, so let's go.
Hey, of course, you're a friend, so I had to have you on the show, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I've known you for we're closing, getting close to a year now. So, but let's get right into it, bro. Like, so we officially announced you as a knight about 2, 3 months ago. How was that feeling for you?
It felt great, for especially like the work I put in school and like in esports wise. I'm actually getting recognized for something. So yeah, it was actually amazing. I'm still I'm still trying to reel it in. I'm still enjoying myself. So I'm trying to make the best. I'm trying to make the best of this opportunity.
I was gonna say, like, what would your like family's thoughts whenever you told them, like, "Hey, I just got signed to an esports team."
Yeah, like they always thought, how parents get they think video games are all like a waste of time.
Hmm.
They think you could put more time in other things, but I was trying to show them, it's not. It's more than just saying clocking in an office. It's more. You can just saying you can play video games. Make it a career, have fun. So this is just more proof.
Hmm.
Showing them.
I would say so. It's like one of the first things we did to you whenever we announced you as a knight was we had you at the Steelers training camp. How was that experience for you?
It was great. To be able to like meet those players in person, it was a great experience because it was actually like the first team actually like met, actually like being face to face, like
Hmm.
I'm saying, in real life. So it was, first of all, those dudes are huge. First of all, but
They
we
are
get
some
to talk to
massive
them.
men.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get to talk to them though, they're just like regular guys, you know what I'm saying? I think I was chopping up with Najee. I think Najee, he watches anime like me, so I mean they're just cool, you know what I'm saying? They're the same as us, just what I'm saying, foot taller, maybe 100 pounds bigger,
Uh-huh.
so it's cool.
I would say, what was your favorite moment? Like, well, maybe probably meeting all of them is I assume.
Yeah.
I was like,
Honestly, being training camp, my favorite moment was probably, having the kids like come up to me and John, trying to take pictures with us, kind of made me feel like, dang, maybe I am like maybe I am known, maybe just a little bit more than I think I am. So that's actually pretty cool. But meeting the players obviously is a great one. But I think the kids, showing up to the kids and the fans,
uh,
probably a great moment.
I was gonna say, so maybe next year, is there any players that you would like to play at the next like
Um,
Steelers training camp
you
whenever we
know,
go?
definitely gotta say Najee. Or honestly, since Madden, I want to play like I one of the quarterbacks, probably Mitchell or Kenny, because I just want to see like my play style in the game, I like to pass the ball a lot. So I want to see like if they'll be like good at passing the ball as I am on the game as they are like in real life. So that would be cool.
I would say for the people who don't know you yet and who are getting to know you, could you tell them about your experience in Madden?
Yeah. So I started competitive Madden. Well, I started playing Madden when I was younger. Probably the case of there. So probably I think it's just like Madden '06 was my first Madden, and then I started playing competitively around Madden 20, which was back in 2019,
Hmm.
in my first tournament. Then I went on to I got my kick blocked at the tournament, but I don't want to talk about that. But I went on to win like the HBCU tournament, uh, national tournament, 2 years in a row. I made top 16 and top 32 and like the national collegiate Madden tournament. So I'll say for myself I've done pretty well like collegiate esports wise in Madden. So
I would say, what does Madden mean to you, basically? Like the
yeah,
vibe, like the career, what you're doing right now.
yeah. It's changed, you know what I'm saying? It's given me like a lot of new routes in my life now. So, I'm definitely thankful for, game Madden.
Hmm.
I'm probably gonna play it, you know what I'm saying, till I get old. I'm probably gonna play it forever. I don't think I can ever give it up. It's basically embedded in me, it's part of my life now. So yeah, I love it.
Okay, let's talk a little bit of football, bro. What were your thoughts on these games this past weekend, especially the
Yeah,
Steeler game?
yeah.
Everyone counted
The
us
Steelers
out.
game,
Everyone
yeah.
thought we lost, but
Honestly, no. So the Steelers game, honestly, that was a crazy game because I think the teams missed or blocked like 3 or 4 field goals, PATs, and all that kind of stuff. So the Steelers, everybody always like they were down Trubisky. He actually played pretty good. He threw for almost 200 yards. Steelers defense, like they got Joe Burrow to throw 4 interceptions. So hey, look, the Steelers, like you're saying, we got a new quarterback. That's when you got some younger players on defense. You know what I'm saying? They're hungry. They're ready to get a win. So I mean, I expect a pretty good year now
mhm.
with TJ got hurt. Am I correct?
I think so.
He got
I'm
hurt.
pretty
Yeah, I
sure
think
he
he
got
got
hurt.
hurt. So that might be a pretty
That's a
tough hit. But
hurt. That's a
somebody
hurt
somebody
piece.
somebody gotta somebody gotta step up. Saying and fill in for him. But it was a good showing. They got to clean up the offense a little bit. But defense was looking pretty good. They stopped the Bengals. They just made the Super Bowl last year. So yeah,
True.
that's a good showing.
I was gonna say, is there What would you say? Were there any things that surprised you that like you thought were good, and then some things that were like a letdown in the game that you expected better from them?
Trubisky was definitely the biggest surprise. I thought he would be. See, I don't see. I think things are like a system QB. So I guess the system that Mike Tomlin has put in for them has been pretty good. So he looked pretty good. The defense, like I said, defense is playing. So I would like to see a little more offensive production.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Joe Burrow did still throw for like 400 yards. You know, he threw 4 interceptions, but I would like to see the offense, get some more production out of the players. So it'll be pretty good.
All right, again, like I did, Keith. We're putting your second cap on. What are your predictions for the Steelers' record this year? How far do they
Steelers record? This is actually a pretty big win because this is a division game, so this is a big win. I think they'll. I don't know. TJ's a big hit. I want to say they'll go. Was it 17-8? I want to say they'll go like the 8, 9, 9-8 range.
Mm-hmm.
I want to. If I got to be honest, I think I got to put them there. Yeah. I think they'll make playoffs though. Definitely, I think they'll make the playoffs.
All right, they make playoffs. How far do they make it in playoffs?
We going.
I'm just saying, we make playoffs. A wild card Steeler team is very scary.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. Look, we make playoffs, they'll find a way to win. So hey, you never know. I'm gonna say, I can say they might make it to the conference. I don't know if they can beat. I feel like this: if they don't see the Bills or Chiefs early, they got a chance to go to the Super Bowl. But hey, the Bills and Chiefs, they're just, I don't know. They're very teams. They're on another level right now.
Okay, so let's just say we're gonna play the imaginative game. Somehow we beat the Bills and Chiefs. We make it to the Super Bowl. Who's the team we beat at the Super Bowl?
The team we beat at the Super Bowl at the NFC. I like to say them Bucks are gonna come out the NFC. So yeah, it'll be Steelers Bucks. That's a weird matchup now you think about it. That might be.
Dude, you're saying that you just put the fear of like fright into all of Pittsburgh because you know who's on the Bucks. The man who's been known for years on end for slaying the Steelers and ending their seasons. Tom Brady.
I've seen players get to him. I've seen teams get to Brady, and it's most of the teams like the Steelers. You know, what I'm saying more so the underdogs. You know, so the Steelers are definitely underdog to the Bucks. So Steelers Bucks. I gotta go with the Steelers.
I'm gonna say if that does happen, and if we do beat Tom Brady, I feel like Pittsburgh will be on a bender for about a solid week.
Listen,
you couldn't make them shut up.
You won't hear in the end of that Super Bowl for about 3-4 years. I promise.
It was like seven.
Yeah.
I remember growing up. You can't talk Steeler football. Like you can't talk against Steeler fans because before the Patriots did it, it was always who got 6 rings. We got 6 rings. It was always Steelers.
Yeah, it was Steelers. Yeah, Steelers was going crazy. But hey, look, they beat Brady.
They'll really lose it.
Yeah, you won't hear into that one at all.
Yeah, because he has 7 rings now, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's 7. Yeah, 7. That's insane. That dude is what, like 40 something years old now, like 45 or something like that. Still competing at this level. Man. It's insane. So
he stayed in the pocket most of his career. So
so he always has a good old line. So yeah.
All right, so we're let's switch it to so we were recently at Rip Fest. How was that for you? Did you enjoy yourself?
Rip Fest it was good. I honestly don't want to see another rib though for about like another let's say 3-4 months. I might be ribbed out. It was good though. I got to got to play. I got to be there with my friend John, the Knights team. I got to play a couple matches, talk to the fans, eat some ribs, try some like sweets. We was there. I tried deep fried
Oreos?
cheesecake.
Oh, the cheesecake. Oh yeah, you did have that.
It was actually pretty. Yeah, I didn't sound right, but it was actually pretty good. Yeah, no, Rip Fest, it was definitely a blast. I had a good time.
I want to say, you touched up on it a little bit. How was it? I mean, we know we had a show match between you and John. Mm-hmm. What were your thoughts on it? I mean, I'll say this.
So, yeah.
You had told everyone who had played against John that weekend, run the ball. Run the ball. I tried it. It didn't work. I got stomped. But then after you had your one-on-one match with Boggs, you annihilated him. But then we had the big show match that everyone was anticipating, you versus John. And then how was it? Because how was it beating your boy?
Yeah, so that first day, so me and John play. We play a lot, like off camera, I guess. So me and John probably play like 20 games right now. Gotta get some more, but on camera is different. You got people looking at you. You right next to him. So it's cool. The first day he got me, I won't lie, I got caught off guard. I was just I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I was getting unlucky. I want to say I was getting beat, but I was actually getting unlucky. But then the next day we played. Yeah, I got to him. I figured it out.
Hey,
Like you said, they say you got to run the ball a little bit. Run the ball, play good defense. Like that's what you see. Like all these great players, you know, you run the ball. I'm saying you get to stop, you run the ball, shoot the clock, or whatever. They're like the player, they get frustrated because they're not seeing the ball a lot, so they try to force more passes on offense.
Mm-hmm.
He was throwing some interceptions, stuff like that. So yeah.
It was funny because he asked me, he was like, "Who do you think's going to win?" And my thought was like, "I'm not picking. I'm like, whoever scores 1st." I wish I wish I was a betting man because I should have found someone to put to take this bet because again, you scored first, and then it was just it was a wrap for the rest of the game.
Yeah, nah. We definitely got it because we only played 2 that week. We got to play another one. Get a tiebreaker. It'll be good. It'll be fun.
So how do you so for someone who doesn't really play Madden, how do you get better in Madden?
Get better? It's probably the same as every game. You gotta play the game a lot. It's like every like pro Madden player 9 times out of 9 out of 10 of them they're gonna say they play like 10 plus hours a day. But obviously that's every game. But I guess to dive deeper into getting better, you gotta you gotta play the game, but you gotta kind of like understand like what's going on in the game. Not just playing. You gotta understand like what your opponent's doing like on defense and offense, like what like tendencies, like what is like to throw, what defense does he like to call. Also like you don't want to like so here's the thing. So when you're starting out, right, most people they pick coach suggestions. You don't want to do that because you're just picking random plays. Like you can't really get like you can't like make good reads or in that play because you don't you don't like have like repetition in that play. That's why you want to pick like one offense or defense. You know what I'm saying? Keep running that same one over and over again so you can know like what beats it, what you can do to counter what beats it. What looks you like versus all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's more like obviously playing the game, but you know what I'm saying, understanding what's going on inside the game. That's the next step.
Okay, and before we let you go, man, I have one more question for you. What are your expectations for the future, especially this upcoming year in season for Madden?
Okay, so this year I want to make a live event. So I got 3 more tournaments. I got Thanksgiving wild card and then Madden Bowl. Hopefully I got the LCQ, but ultimately make a live event, you know what I'm saying? Keep Knights on the map, you know what I'm saying? Show that I'm not I just wasn't like a college kid. I want to show that I can compete with the pros too. Yeah, that's my expectations.
All right, man. Well, lovely answer. I appreciate you being on the show, man. It's always a great time talking to you. And
yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thanks
for being here tonight, man.
Yes, sir.
I'll let you go. All right, guys, we're gonna take another quick commercial break, and we got some dope Rocket League tips for you so you can get good. And I'll see you when we're back.
I'm Zoella, Rocket League player for the Pittsburgh Knights. And these are some quick Rocket League tips brought to you by Investor. For today's tips, we're going to be talking about Rocket League etiquette and some basic tips to get you started. In this example, we have the 1 player on the left diagonal kickoff and 2 in front of the net. In this case, generally what you're going to see is I will be the one that goes for the ball, Cheeks will go for the back left corner boost, and Jade will follow up behind me. Again, these things can all change if you're in comms and communicating with your teammates, but especially if you're just playing with random people online, this is usually how you want to go about it. So on the kickoff, we'll see I go after the ball, Jade follows behind me in the middle, Cheeks will pick up the corner boost and prepare to either push up with an attack or go back to net depending on how the kickoff goes. In general, when 2 players both need boost, if you're going to go for the same boost, priority should go to the person that either has less boost at the time, if you can communicate that, but if you're playing with random people online, you can't talk about that. In that case, the boost priority will go to the person that's going to the ball sooner. So if you're going into the offensive attack, you get the priority to pick out the boost unless you can communicate that with your teammates saying, hey, I need boost. But if you can't do that, whoever's going to the ball first is the one that should get it. When it comes to playing defense, your number 1 priority should be protecting the ball from getting into the net. So what that means is even if you need boost, like Gargle will here, she thinks she's safe to go for this boost, but because the ball is still sitting in front of the net, she should probably either rotate around Terran over in this direction so that she can protect the next shot that's going to come in, probably from Cheeks here. Instead, she goes for this corner boost, which then puts her out of position and leaves Cheeks with a wide open net. Another fun tip or rule in the Rocket League world is called Rule 1. Basically, anytime your cars get locked together, like you're going to see right here, you just are supposed to sit here and let your teammates continue playing until either one of these cars gets demoed or a goal is scored. And sometimes it just keeps going on for a very long time. But you're not allowed to move, otherwise you are cursed and you have to lose the game. Pretty much. That's basically the rules of Rocket League. This is Zoella, and see you next time for some more Investor Rocket League tips.
All right. And that's a wrap for the first episode of Nights Live. I hope you guys all enjoyed yourself. I had a wonderful chat with the homies Keith LaFortune and that guy DJ. You heard the lowdown of all the stuff going on VCT, and DJ gave you some tips on how to get good at Madden. But before you go, make sure to tune in to the Knights Twitch channel at 11 a.m. for a crazy surprise. Trust me, I want to tell you guys, but I feel like if I say it, I couldn't contain myself and my head might explode. But that's just not it, because right after that, because it's going to be a full 24-hour stream, basically. But I can't tell you what it is, because again, it's a nice surprise that I feel like you'll lose yourself for. But right after that, we have the Knights Drift. So you got an awesome stream, and then you got a badass tournament going on right after. So make sure your weekend is free, because we got a lot in store for all of you. So remember to drink some water, get a couple hours of sleep, and I'll see you next time, friendos.